Now it's the big one. The big one we've all been waiting for. Okay, the one that already happened. Avengers Infinity War. The big one that everything has been leading up to. Came out April 2018, and I most recently watched this on February 24, 2019. And so many good and cool moments. I actually didn't fit all of it here. Now I'm going to name out a lot of my favorite moments and quotes. And that's almost all of them. All the ones in the movie. But I'm sure I missed a few. When Loki says, "We have a Hulk," and in that moment, he was an Avenger. Cap being badass, saying, "I'm not looking for forgiveness, and I'm way past asking permission." Peter being funny and smart with Tony and saying, like, "You can't be a neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood." Okay, that didn't really make sense, but you know what I mean. Hulk. We got a lot to figure out, pal, because Hulk did not... he made an appearance in the beginning, and then that was it. Because he was at conflict with Bruce Banner. Thanos saying, like, "You're not the only one cursed with knowledge," and later when he snaps his finger, Peter in his despair saying, "Did we just lose?" The cool moments like Iron Man's suit up, Spider-Man's Iron Spider suit, Thor's entrance, and he screams, "Bring me Thanos!" The battle on Titan with Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, and Iron Man. The shocking moments like Tony gets stabbed, freaking Red Skull makes an appearance, no one saw that coming. Everyone's freaking death. Gamora's death, pushed off a cliff by Thanos, and then you realize, oh, Thanos actually did love Gamora. Black Panther, he helps Okoye up, and he says, "This is no place to die," and then he just disappears. Wanda had to destroy Vision only to be brought back to die by Thanos. That was heartbreaking as hell. Bucky just comes up and says, "Steve," and then he just disappears. Spider-Man, of all ones, "I don't feel so good." And then some of the funny moments, like Tony and Peter, and like Peter's references, and then Tony gets kind of like annoyed. It's like, if there's one more reference out of you, that's it. Drax says, "Why is Gamora?" Mantis, kick names, take ass. Oh, so many good moments. It was such a fun movie to watch. I remember being there opening night, not the premiere night, when it's all Hollywood, it's like 4 or 5 days earlier and all the stars are there, but opening night, or the night before the day it says it was released. I remember being there watching it in IMAX. The whole theater was full. The energy was all around. Everybody was cheering, screaming, gasping. I was stressing out a whole lot, watching the movie. And I remember watching it and just, I don't want this movie to end. Like, I really tried hard to not look at my watch so that I wouldn't see how much time has already passed. Because that was so much fun just watching that movie. It's funny, out of all the movies that teaches me life is riddled with moments, good and bad, this was one of them. It's not like I watched this and then I suddenly, wanted to turn my life around, but it's definitely one of the ones I think about when I want to try to live a better life. And I know in the beginning of this entire reflection series I said, usually we talk about like cool moments, but let's talk about what they mean to us. And this whole thing was one big moment for me. Just remembering watching this movie with my friends, like the opening night, and cheering, screaming with the crowd. I'm not sure how much longer those moments are gonna last. We're in our 20s. We still have time, but eventually, we have our own families. It gets harder and harder to do this sort of thing, and I'll be grateful for every time that we can pull this off again. Our time doing this kind of stuff is kind of limited, and it can only last so long. It's the movie that kind of taught me to enjoy the small moments in life. Even though it felt like a big moment, this is a relatively small moment if you think about it. It's not like I got married or had a kid. I just watched a movie with friends. Another thing is, I was consuming other media, other shows, movies, animes at the time, And this added fuel to the fire that is what inspires me to pursue a career that has more of an emotional impact on people. I mean, yeah, admittedly, Infinity War might not be the deepest movie. It's not like a biography or um, a documentary type of movie, but it is one of the few movies that made me react and think the way that I do now. Infinity War is probably going to be one of my favorite movies of all time. Not just because of the story or everything that leads up to it, but the moments I shared and the moments that are tied to it. So it's probably why I wanted to do a reflection series on this leading up to Avengers Endgame, and why the MCU means so much to me now. I wouldn't be exaggerating if I would say this movie changed my life.